Good morning, YouTube. Yeah, I'm a little early because I moved the times back. I might be moving back. Um, I might be moving back an hour. It, it's kind of because now that I'm not taking uh, that sinus medicine is actually raising my freaking blood pressure. Um, I'm getting better sleep. I'm getting better sleep, but my mind ain't set yet. My mind ain't got used to it yet, so I'm having a hard time kind of waking up. I don't know if that sounds crazy because like right now I'm on the edge of man, let me hold on one second if I get ready to get out of here. I'm on the edge of Eastern Daylight Time and Central. But my brain is seeing, my brain is seeing 4 o'clock when it's actually going to be 5 o'clock in about 20 minutes. When I head a little further north, and I know it sounds weird, but I can see it's bothering me. So I might move it back an hour because when this has been a few days I've gotten up, but I was like I ain't say nothing, but I was out of it, you know. And when you're doing these lives and all that stuff and staying dedicated to the cause and staying dedicated to the cause, you actually, it's. I think my dedication is starting to pay off because the Great Purge, and anybody who knows, is starting to even out. I'm hoping that I didn't jinx myself. I'm hoping, you know, to the head honcho above, you know, that I'm not jinxing myself because my hours are starting to grow again after the Great Purge. And, if you're doing YouTube and you're kind of struggling with your hours, you know, um, one, I suggest that you reevaluate. I know what people are looking at, but I- I'm getting lazy, and I need to come correct because I know what people are checking out on my page. A lot of them are checking out my Husqvarna videos, and it is about that time where I need to change the oil and grease the fittings and stuff like that, and clean under the deck, and just don't have time. I won't have any time to do that till August. And you know I just have to set all that up. Maybe do 2 or 3 videos. I had switched up for a while and was doing a lot of shorts. It was just silly. The simple, the simple thing was, it's funny. I was, I have a whole lot of shorts where the truck is passing me, and I had some music to it, and boy, I got like 100, 200 subscribers because of that, and I kind of hurt my head when okay, I'm not like what's the word, multitasker. If I have to multitask, yeah, nah, we gonna have a problem. So, you know, what I had been doing is concentrating on that, and then that died out. Not the subscribers, but the um, the trucks passing me because I guess all the stuff is going on. Actually, the if you don't know that, it's kind of not dying out, but the loads are slowing down because of the economy. You know, the loads are the loads are really slowing down because of the economy. I'm lucky that I'm on a dedicated route for Dow Chemical, and that part hasn't slowed down a lot. It slowed down a little bit because normally I see a lot more trailers, a lot more trucks waiting to be loaded and stuff like that at certain places, but I don't see as many at this moment. You know what I mean? But that part of it has been, you know, um, so I'm gonna start with a few longer just regular videos. But I've noticed that the attention span isn't too long, so it'd be regular short videos, like not like the shorts now, but a little bit longer, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Keep your attention, and bam, I'm out. You know, keep your attention, get your attention, and bam, I'm out. Just stuff like that. Uh, but okay, I decided to change up today, and I, I really got one story. Or hopefully, I can get another one out of that one. Um, the When I was younger, no, well, actually, when I was a teenager, I'm old enough to say that I was around when the drinking age went from 19 to 21. I was around that age, and being tall, and you know I don't know how it happened, but we had what was called we had where I lived, it was called, it was kind of a notorious area, and it was called the block. Just as simple. It was the corner. It was on the block. The block. It's called the block. There was a lot of drugs sold there. Lot of in the crack area and stuff like that. But the difference between these criminals nowadays to the ones back in my day, I know it sounds crazy, but there was some honor amongst thieves. When they knew you was a good kid, or word was out, leave that one alone, or don't bother this kid, don't bother that one. They didn't do that. They didn't bother you. They left you alone. They might ask you once or twice, hey, you looking for something? No, no, I'm good, I'm good. And you just kept on walking. You got to go into people's drugstore. That's where I was. I was in the people's drugstore, buying comic books and two or three comic books. So they were like, 20, not, I think it was like 50 cents at that time, 50 cents a comic book and a bag of chips. And I would walk home and enjoy myself. But also, when I was a teenager and I, needed to cash my check, you could go to the liquor store and cash your work check. 'Cause in them days, I worked at Burger King and or Taco Bell. So I take my check in there, sign it away, and then I get my money. And I remember one day, um, when you were doing it, they would take your picture, on a Polaroid, look you up on file, make sure you was who you was. Didn't ask, kind of, sort of, really didn't ask for your ID. I know this was weird, but you were known. People knew who you was. I know it sounds weird, but I got misidentified. They thought I was another brother. And guess what? That brother happened to be either he was over 21, whoever the heck he was, and they were like, "Hey, hey, hey." After I catch chicks, hey, do you want to get any liquor? And I'm looking at him like, knowing I'm underage, and I'm looking at him like, yeah. and I ain't know what I was buying, and I went and bought the Bacardi. I said, yeah, yeah, give me the Bacardi. And then I'm looking like, give me that one, and that one was the 151. I'm pretty sure it was the 151, and I would do that every payday. It's like, well, if they gonna sell it to me, I'm gonna get it. And I, you know, was acting the fool and doing what young kids do. But I literally became a certified alky. You know what I mean? And that's what brings me to my story. Okay, I joined the Navy. I believe. I believe once when I turned 18. I believe I turned. It was either 18 or 19. I think I was a year late. I tried to get a job and whatever, and it just wasn't working. It just wasn't working. I joined the Navy, and I made it. I made it through boot camp, and I made it through the trials and tribulations of boot camp. Because I ain't gonna lie, I cried my punk ass self to sleep every night. Because I was like crying because I made the wrong decision. I'm like, oh man, what did I get myself into? And but I made it through. Now, the thing about the military, I don't know if they even do this no more, but if you're underage but you're on base, they would sell you beer. It was kind of it was kind of watered down beer. I don't know how they did that, but they would sell you beer. You could go to the Listen Man Club, you could get beer, and uh, you definitely get beer. And here's the funny thing: tell you could always tell when a boat went to sea. You could always tell when a boat went to sea. You know why? because all the married women was out at the Listen Man's Club. Every last one of them, and that was crazy. The stuff you would hear and see, it was unbelievable. And at the time, I wasn't saved, saved by the grace of God and everything else. So I was all for it. I was all for the drama. I was all for all the foolishness and everything. But, I sat there, and, I would sit there. There was one place, it was the Chiefs Club. If you came in with a hat on and they rang that bell, you're supposed to buy a drink. I remember that. I remember I walked in there one time and I heard that bell ring. They said, "You got to buy a drink." I said, "No, I don't." And I turned around and left and never came back to that daggone place. I got to forget that. Sorry about that, guys. Um, but but back to my story. Now, doing all of this the stuff I'm telling you, I wasn't 21 yet. And I just waited and waited and waited. And then the day finally came. I was actually, stationed at Portsmouth Naval Shipyard in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Old place. But that's where I was. Cold and you name it. Man, these guys were driving like nuts. But the day finally came. And guys, I did my, I did my, I was on duty. I, did my cooking that morning, and no, and I did my cooking that morning, and all everything that I was supposed to do. And I got off of work, went home, changed my clothes, and the thing is, it wasn't, you know, I didn't do a big to do, but I knew there was a bar right out the main gate. So, I got dressed, changed my clothes, nothing fancy, just some jeans, shirt, and everything. And I walked out the front gate, and I sat there. And I sat there, and the guy says, comes up, says, what can I get you, buddy? And I said, like, give me a Budweiser, a Budweiser, blah, and I said, and the guy didn't ask me for my ID. Now, it's my birthday. I'm 21. I'm legal finally. I can finally walk into a bar, and actually, let me cut there because I just reminded of another story. That kind of adds to this. Um, when I was in high school, and this is during the time where um, the this was during the time of me going to that liquor store where I could get booze and stuff. And uh, at our high school we had what's called a senior dance, and I had no one to ask to go to this dance. And I had a friend that I guess well, actually at that time I was dating my first wife. We weren't married yet, we were boyfriend and girlfriend. And friend of mine had a boyfriend, and we all hung out at the same table at the cafeteria, yada yada. You know how that goes. And we, we come to the conclusion if it was all right with you, if it's all right with me, if it's right with the girlfriend, yada yada yada. Why don't we go to the senior dinner together? And I said, okay, that sounds cool. And we went to the dinner, had a ball. My father lent me. He said I could use his Fleetwood Cadillac. Now this thing was a tank, and this thing was long. It was kind of. I think he got it from a funeral uh, company, whatever. It was a big, long Cadillac. This thing was a boat, and there was a lot. It was only a couple of us in the car, but everybody jumped in the car with me, and I'm like, look, hey, this pop's car, blah blah blah, and come on, let's go out and have some fun. And we went and drove around after the senior dinner, and actually found a club. And since we were all dressed up, looked a little older, I don't know, we we got in, and it was about in this big old Cadillac, three, six, I think it's like 6 or 7 of us, and this guy, his name was James Nixon, little bit more sugar in his system than your normal person. But nobody said nothing because he was crazy. He was fun to hang out with, and we just had a ball. And he came back with a round of drinks. I like, how'd you do that? He said, I just told them that me me being he told them that me being me, Darren, and my date were for the senior dinner, that y'all just got married, and we were out celebrating, and we wound up getting lit. Once again, wrong thing. Poor choices. That's before drinking and driving got really big, but we were getting lit, but we weren't getting lit like I was used to get lit. So it was okay. I was all right. But I remember I never forget that every time I see his face on Facebook, that we just did we danced the night away, and everybody just had a good old time. We just had a ball. All right, so now back to the other story. Me being 21, I'm in a bar, and I asked the guy, hey, man, and I was a little hurt. Say, hey, man, you ain't gonna ask for my ID? So why? And then he says, "Why I need to ask you for your ID?" Say, hey, man, this is my birthday. You know how long I've been waiting for somebody to ID me? And he started laughing. And he said, all right, let me see your ID. And he looked and he said, "Okay, happy birthday." And, I'm in the bar sitting by myself. And, the bartender, gave his free shot, gave me a free shot. And the guy that was sitting on the right, and he, he ordered I forgot I don't know what you call these things. A mud pie, a mud something. And it was uh, a certain type of liquor that was mixed with milk. And dude was ordering, he started ordering these things for me. And I'm like, I I take the free drinks. I said I take the free drinks. And good morning, Miss. Good morning. Is that Patty? Yeah. How you doing, Miss Patty? And I'm saying to myself, I take the free drinks. And my man he was pouring them on. I was drinking them slow. I wasn't chugging them down. Not you know, kind of. I was kind of milking it, and I'm thinking to myself, dude, dude don't know who he messing with. I was a certified teenage alcoholic, and and he was having these we were talking, and this was a good minute, and he's still ordering me these things. I'm not even catching a buzz. I'm like, I'm mellow, and I'm like, but I was having a good time because it's my 21st birthday, and I'm like, "Psh, you keep buying them, I'm gonna keep drinking them." And I guess I literally guess he thought he was getting me. In other words, it was a setup, guys. He thought he was getting me drunk so he could lay the boom on me. So I'm mellow, and he's saying these conversations. And let me say this before I say anything else. Warning: adult content about to get spoken right about now. So if if you get in your feelings real quick, I need you to leave the page for a few minutes and then come back a little later in this broadcast. Warning. I don't. If you get offended real quick, please leave the page because I'm telling you what really happened to me. All right, now back to the subject. My man thought he got me toasted, so he decided that was when he was ready to drop the bomb. And he said it real low. He says, and this the dude now. This ain't no woman. He said, I give good uh I give good massages. And I remember I said, well, good for you. I said, well, good for you. That's a good trade. And he said it again. I give good massages. Now, again, y'all know I'm a little slow to catch on. He says I give good massages. I said, well, that's good. And then he says I wouldn't mind giving you a massage and and a blowjob. And you know how when you bang your toe and you know how when you bang your toe, but it takes a second for it to register in your brain that you hit your toe. Well, that's what happened to me. After he said the BJ word, I sat there and froze. I didn't say nothing. I just looked straight ahead. And my man, he got up and went to the bathroom. And I sat there and I was sweating. And I ran. I got up, drank what was left of that last whatever, He had left some money on the counter. I grabbed that money and I ran out of that liquor. That I ran out of that bar, and I ran. I don't know if I had my. I don't think I had my card then. I don't, and I ran. I not ran. I made my way back to the barracks, and that's when the liquor kicked in. That's when the liquor kicked in. And y'all know that movie, what was that movie? Crying Games or whatever. And I jumped in the shower and scrubbed my behind. And it was so I can laugh at it now. I was trying to scrub the sin off of me. I literally was crying in the shower like the man done did something to me. And I was like, oh my God, this gay guy touched me on oh my God. Yo, it was pathetically hilarious. And I couldn't believe that I didn't recognize that this person was trying to pick me up, tried to get me drunk first and then pick me up. And I sat there and I remember I called, and I remember calling my girlfriend at the time, which was my ex-wife now, and I was screaming, "This guy tried to pick me up! Oh my God!" And all I could hear on the other side of that phone was her cracking up, and it was hilarious. I could put it two ways, but I could probably say I looked so good in them days or whatever. Who knows? But boy, I thought that was yo that was my first time that I walked into a bar legally and a dude tried to pick me up. Un unfreaking believable. Unfreaking believable. People trying to hobby me. They think I got hobbies. I ain't got no hobbies, though. But I sat there and it was unfreaking believable. But you live and you learn. You always get comedians say that they would go in the gay bar and nobody picks them up and so forth. Well, what's the matter with me? Well, I can say I got dude trying to pick me up, and I'm like, what I got? The gay gene, the gaydar, and people call all kinds of stuff. Who knows? Who knows? But I had remembered that. I remembered that yesterday, and I was like, well, I want to throw that one out there because that was freaking hilarious. Um, but you, these things, and this is way. Let me repeat that. This was way before the rainbow flag and the LGBTQ elemental P crowd that they change it up every day. And again, I'm not dogging whoever out. If y'all think that, you got it wrong. Um, and I'm not gonna say because I had gay friends and I did. I don't care. Do you, boo boo? If that's what you want to do. I have a lot. I got a lot that I got to stand before God for. So judge not. Let's say it that way. But I just thought that was so funny, and I sat there and scrubbed. You just sit there and add on. Like I said, the alcohol finally kicked in, and I'm sitting in the shower while it's going. I got that thing on full hot blast. I'm a hot. I'm a hot yellow pink because I'm trying to scrape the gayness off of me or whatever. And I'm like, and I think about it now, like really, the guy didn't go rub up on you or whatever, say, but I, it was funny. It was funny at the time. Well, funny, more like funny now. It wasn't funny at the time, because I was not privy to that. It was not like it is nowadays, and I was just turning 21 and, growing up and kind of grew up kind of weird, but I look back at those times in my life. It's funny. You look back at the times in your life, and then you look at yourself now and wonder, wow, what the heck did I do? The stuff that I've done, you know, um, it kind of blows me away. And, and you got to be able to laugh about it. A lot of people, people that tell stories and they won't be, you know, there's some sort of stories I'm taking to my grave, yes, but some stories that you okay, I'm gonna tell it. I'm gonna tell it. I'm gonna tell it like it is. You know what I mean? Um, there's another story I wanted to say, and it's not really a story, but it's a comment. Again, my name is Can't Stop Walking, but love mowing and cruising. Um, I love I love when I go on the boat and I love when I go on the boat and get to do all the varieties of food or whatever. But every once in a while, you get to see some nasty behind people, some nasty behind people, and also you get to see. I don't think no, I think it was my second cruise that I was on. We was at the back of the boat, and they had two hot tubs. And if you ever notice, I always I don't get in the hot tubs no more because they're not hot. They're lukewarm tubs. And I remember I went, me and the wife was at the back of the boat, and we were stretched out and uh, laying out and catching some sun. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna get in the hot tub. And I remember it's like four or five dudes came to the back and they had speedos on. And if you guys don't know what speedos are, they like skin tight drawers, like the tidy whities, but different colors, and mostly they're black. Now I'm sitting in this lukewarm water, staring at my wife, and you know how when the water is so, yeah, it was lukewarm, but it just didn't feel like it was clean. You didn't smell no uh, chlorine, and you're like, oh man, this is nasty. It's like it was sitting in stagnant water. But then I'm sitting there by myself, and then all of these guys in speedos got in the water with me. And it, she, my wife, Norma, she just sat there and started laughing and could not contain herself because I didn't say nothing, but the look on my face was the look of what the heck in Sam Hill are these scantily clad dudes coming in here sitting next to me? And I promise you, I from that day forward, I ain't never getting to no hotel. It it was the combination of the stagnant water, the lukewarm stagnant water, and these big old pop belly. I understand you want a speedo and you got six pack abs and muscles and nah, player. These are pop belly pigs, just like me. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm talking all this smack, but I had a big old belly and man boobs my daggone self. But I had, long shorts on. You know what I'm saying? Long shorts on. And I got up, I looked, you give that, you put that bottom lip comes out a little further, like, uh uh, never again. And I promise you, I never again, but it still aggravates me to this day when I get on these boats and the kids, them hot tubs for adults, the kids are jumping around, splashing around. Mommy and daddy's close by, but there's like 20 or 30 kids in that daggone hot tub. Even though I made a blood oath that I ain't never getting back in one of these nasty behind things. And yeah, and I haven't been back in there since. But that um, that and also one thing you'll notice on cruise ships is, and then like Carnival, you know, all Carnival, especially all the new ones, they have wash your hands stations in the front of Marketplace. Marketplace is like a cafeteria. They have it in the front and they have it in the back. And on the Vista class boats, they have what's called it's a wash your hand machine. You put your hands all the way into your forearm, and it washes your hands. I love it. I used to get we're going on the Horizon in June. I love to get it. I get in and play with the thing, and it's like a dishwashing machine for your hands, it wash your forearms and everything. Um, but I kind of started noticing on the last two boats that we were on. Now this is COVID's still around, but it's because of taking your shots and everything, you don't catch it as much, but people still catch it. Um, but I noticed that other than my wife and me, nobody washing their hands. People just walking in there, and then I've also noticed that they ain't going in the bathroom and they ain't washing their hands. Now you just came from the bathroom, you gone. You ain't washing your hands. And people blame they blame it on the cruise ships. They're easy to catch. It was easy to catch COVID. No more cruising on it. And I just started noticing it ain't the cruise ship. They offer the stuff to wash your hands and sanitized stations. They had a ton of those. They These things were there for keeping you safe. And I had said it to the wife. I said, "Hey, you notice we see lines for the food, but ain't no lines for these washing stations because nobody's washing their hands." And I remember I was like so disgusted. I said, "That's freaking nasty." you know, and you're spreading this stuff around. You don't wash your hands. You done did something, and then you touch one of these serving spoons. I pick up your fecal matter or whatever you want to call it. I pick up your cooties, and then next thing you know, something spreads. And that's what a lot of times. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, but it's called the Nora. It's called the Nora virus, and it is transmitted that way through your hand. And a lot of times, and you get one bad case of the poo poo pee doo. You know what I mean? You get one really bad case of the poo poo pee doos, and it comes from folks. And I'm not saying all of the cruisers, but the old school, they know to wash their daggone hands. Most of them. But the new ones that ain't never been on a ship and uh, doing stuff like eating in line and then can't figure out waited. Um, they had like an Amish station. It usually takes 5 minutes for each person. They try to be quicker, but you're waiting there. You got long enough time to choose what you want. But these people get up there and they're like, um, 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 uh, do you have any egg whites? Um, um, let me get some bacon and some onion. And I'm like, what the heck? You know what's up there? You know what I'm? And then I come up and I'm like, look, let me show you how it's done. Let me get the bacon, cheese, some mushrooms, black olives. Thank you. And and it's coming from a greedy pig. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. And I get all up. My drawers get all up in a bunch, and I'm like, hey man, come on. Like, come on, I'm hungry. And knowing I ain't, because I probably done been through the line about 2, 3 times already. You know, yeah, yeah, you're right. I do have a problem, but um, it just it's just something that I noticed. It's something that I've seen. But okay, I'm all over the place, so I'm gonna keep going all over the place. I remember when I first got the bug for for walking. Now, when I first got the bug, I I was big, and us big folks, you know what I'm going to be talking about right here. I'm talking about them thighs rubbing under your undergarments, you know, and you getting chapped thighs from this walking thing. Well, I found out if I get those the spandex pants or whatever whatever they call nowadays. Not them things that women wear, but they got ones for men. And I would I would get mine from uh, Under Armour, and Under Armour is mainly for protecting the skin and the cold and all that stuff. And yeah, but I liked them, and I would get these outrageous colors, like a bright yellow, neon orange, blue, light and different colored blue. Um, I was getting all this stuff and just out there just having a ball, my Humpty Dumpty self. Doo, 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 doo. But it wasn't rubbing them thighs. It wasn't rubbing them inside thighs. You know what I'm saying? And I started noticing that the wife, she she was embarrassed for me wearing these bright colored, pants. But I had like, the basketball shorts above them. Now I was actually I was coordinating, color coordinating. I was looking stylish. I was looking like, how you go out to the park and you see the big folks with the neon colors on and waddling around. That was me. But I was having fun. I know she kept on buying. I bought you another, pair, but everything she bought black, and it didn't dawn on me that I was embarrassing her. You know, she just got me straight black, and I had to accept. I had to accept that. Okay, I can't wear my brightly colored ones anymore. I might get them and wear them on the ship on the next cruise. See what she says. But the the, you know the thing is, we have to learn. We have to learn that sometimes our loved ones don't know no better, and they think it's cute or cool or whatever. I thought I was cool, but boy, you'd have to put some sunglasses when once I passed by because these suckers were bright. I thought I was cool, but she didn't want to hurt my feelings. And let me get you these black ones because your big hubba bubba self, that doesn't look appealing. And I was like, okay. I was like, okay, I guess I don't. It took me a while to figure that out, but I'm good. I'm good. So now, when she wants to go walk, whatever outfit I got on, if it's a pair of jeans, I'm walking with them with the pair of jeans. I'm gonna have to buy a new pair of walking shoes because I get my usage out of my sneakers. I wear them out, and I can tell it's time to buy a new pair because my feet hurt. You know, that's just a part of it. It's just a part of it. What's up, man? It seemed like you late. Welcome in, welcome in. We just talking about some some stories, and oh, I got another one for you. It's one thing I do have. I do have a phobia because I shouldn't have watched them. But when we go on these cruises, when we go on these cruises, I realize that I start. I'm not. I know I'm a kind of exaggerate a little bit here, but I kind of start hyperventilating when I don't see that cruise ship anymore. And I remember, excuse me, we were one of the stops of Carnival all the freaking time is Turks and Caicos. Well, I remember when we first went to Turks and Caicos, we got on there's a tour. They got tours going around, and I remember, the tour guide is saying, "Oh, okay, so over here we had the observatory for blah 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 blah. But it it was decimated by the hurricane of 2002. Ain't been fixed. Ain't been they hasn't been repaired or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, I understand. And then we drive a little bit. Then they go over here. This was a government a government facility for yada yada yada. But that was decimated in that was destroyed in 2005. Um, okay. And then we go over here. Welcome in, welcome in. Over here, this this was the plantation of such and such, and that was destroyed in 2009. So you're paying for a tour, and this was a while back. So they actually, when we were there, they actually redoing the port, and you could see that they were rebuilding. But it kind of took a moment, though. But I'm sitting there and I'm looking at Norma, and I'm like, hey, babe, we we're on a tour. What is this name of this tour? The destruction tour, And ever since then, I did never want to go on a tour at Turks and Caicos. But I also noticed that I was okay as long as I saw that cruise ship. But when we would go around a turn or something, and I didn't see that cruise ship, I started spazzing out. I didn't let the wife know, but I started spazzing out. And that really bothered me. And I noticed that one thing I got to do is if I do these excursions or whatever, I got to do them with with the cruise line because if something happened to break down, the ship will actually wait for one of their excursions, but they're not gonna wait for a private excursion. You see what I'm saying? And that that's one thing I got to get used to again. And I'm gonna try, on the next cruise to do maybe an excursion or whatever, and not spaz the heck out. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Wish I could read. Hey, good morning, good morning. Welcome in, welcome in. As you guys can see, I have this on my mount, so I can't see y'all. And y'all really don't want me to look, and you really don't want me to look because why? Because I'm driving this big behemoth, and one other thing, you guys, y'all spend the morning seeing me drive, which is cool. It kind of helps me, because early morning, just waking up, I do a lot of swerving, but I'm not trying to swerve while I'm on video. Just waking up. But there's been a few times in my driving career as a professional truck driver that I've lost the bass in my voice. I know I've told the story about I got mauled and fighting those dogs. I was screaming like a banshee. And I remember a few times. And see what people don't realize. You think you can drive through black ice? Give it up, especially northerners. It's just nothing but some. It's a little bit of ice. You good? and then they got stuck. Because I'm from Georgia. We had Carmageddon where cars got stuck on the highway where you shouldn't have been out there anyway. Because in Georgia, it freezes over. The sun, then the sun comes out, melts it, and then it freezes over again, and it develops black ice within moments. So when you know the temperature's dropping and the ground is wet, stay your behind home. I had a friend that I knew was barreling down and coming down through Georgia. I told him, there's a truck stop at exit whatever. Park that baby, and don't come out till the next day. And if you see UPS or FedEx, if they the first ones to go, give them a few minutes and then go. And truckers know about that. Few minutes and then go. Um, what? Oh, but back to the story. Lost my. I'm getting old, guys. And I remember, I forgot what city and state it was, but we were coming through. Oh, it was up on 80. My co-driver hit a patch of black ice, and I was just getting up, and boy, I felt the bay. It literally felt like we were going over, and I wasn't experienced like I'm experienced now, but something made me yell out, "Let off the brake!" And they let off the brake and just go with it. You know, getting close to me. Jesus, dude, that yo, that just woke me up. um, and I remember once we passed that, once we passed that patch of ice, pulled over, and they said, "I am so done. I'm not moving an inch." And I remember I had to get up, get dressed, and we're on the side of the road. I told him, "Look, sent the message. We gonna park for a minute and regain our composure because we hit a patch of ice and almost ended it, and we're going to start back up in a couple of hours till we till we get our gonads back because I think we kind of left them on the highway." And I remember they said understood. And I posted a few videos because Charles is he up on 80 all the time. I posted a short. Um, when was that? I think it was last winter because he sent it to me. It's content, and he was driving through that mess. I mean, the wind was blowing. I mean, blowing snow. You couldn't see nothing, and I was like, "Wow, not me, brother." Especially right in this day and age. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. When I say I'm good, I'm better than that. I'm not doing. But that's really it for our our story time. Today we're gonna go ahead and shut down. I just want to thank you guys for coming in and being a part of our morning talk. And I just want to thank y'all and just know whatever you're going through, man, God's got you. You might not believe it and you might not receive it at this point, but all just remember, whatever you're going through, God's got you, and you got to learn how to listen and listen out for Him. because he is going to he's going to let you know and bless you. And if you don't think nobody loves you, as always, God loves you and I love you too. Y'all have a blessed weekend. Some of us got to work as always. I'm starting to count down for my off time. We gonna get lit and have some fun, and we're gonna be doing some morning talks. Hopefully, I ain't gonna be too lit. And if I'm too lit, my wife will be mad at me. So we ain't trying to do that on vacation. But you guys have a blessed day, and I will see y'all tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Monday. Sorry about that.